Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Dave's Faves. And today I want to talk to you about two fabulous symphonies by Hindemith. Oh, Hindemith, poor Hindemith. I feel so bad for Hindemith. You know, I did my master's thesis, my first master's thesis, on Der Fall Hindemith, the Hindemith-Furtwängler affair, which was a furor that ensued over his opera, Matthias der Maler, because Hindemith was very apolitical and he was quite down on the Nazi regime. And Furtwängler took his side in the performance of the symphony Matthias der Maler, which was enormously popular, and the Nazis got all annoyed and they banned Hindemith's music. And it's a good story. It's a good topic for a thesis, frankly. But Hindemith today is, and I've said this many, many times, is really on the outs. And I don't get it. I really don't. He should be popular, or more popular than he is, because he never gave up tonality, for example. You know, he was dissed in the 60s and 70s as someone who, didn't give up tonality. But now that tonality is back, where's Hindemith? People sort of regard him as somehow a little bit passé. He could be a touch formulaic. He could. He was German. I mean, he had a system. He had to have a system. He had an ideology. And, okay, so what? He had a style. It's a very appealing style, a very interesting and enjoyable style. But the problem, I think, this is just my idea. I could be wrong. My idea is that the problem with Hindemith is that his music sounds like it's supposed to be tonal and melodic, and it starts that way. But then, things happen. And it ends that way. The joke with Hindemith was start with a C major chord, go crazy, and do whatever you want, and then end with a C major chord. That's Hindemith. It's not really fair, but it is kind of true. So, for example, here we have two magnificent symphonies, which you won't know that well. The only one people play is Matthias der Maler, the symphony from that opera, which is gorgeous, beautiful work. But this is the Symphonia Serena, serene. It's lovely. And the Harmonie der Welt, the symphony that he took from his later opera about Johannes Kepler and the music of the spheres. That's not an easy opera. I have to be honest. Not an easy opera. Not a plot most people would care about. Not exactly a sexy subject, but the music is terrific. The music really is terrific. And these performances with Pascal Tortelier and the BBC Philharmonic on Chandos are really, really good. They're very well recorded. They're beautifully played. They really make an excellent case for both symphonies, and it's a wonderful coupling. Now, Herbert Blomstedt did these for on Decca with the Leipzig Gewandhaus, but I don't know if those are still around. I don't think so. This is still around. Last time I checked. I hope it's still around. And it's really, really first class. Absolutely first class. But as I was saying, Hindemith melodically, for example, let's take the opening of the Symphonia Serena. It begins with a lovely, gentle string ostinato, with the high strings. And then the theme comes in on the horns, and it's yada, yada, da, 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 like that. And you think, oh, it's beautiful. Well, yeah, okay. But then it goes, so it's, let me start a little higher. Da, 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 da. Then it goes, da, 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 do, 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 do. It's like, oh, there he goes, being Hindemithy. It's sort of going off in strange directions. And it does. What can I tell you? Hindemith had a theory of melodic construction, which was based not on triads, on thirds, like, the finale of Beethoven's Fifth is triads. Bum, bum, ba, da-dum, bum, 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 ba, dun, da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So we think of it as like, oh, yeah, it's what tunes are supposed to sound like, right? Well, Hindemiths are based on fourths, and fourths don't sound as normal as thirds. So yeah, the tunes are odd. They are odd. They go in their own direction. But so what? Really, what matters is that he writes them, and he writes them really well, and he fills his symphonies full of fascinating and beautiful music. Now, this particular symphony, the Symphonia Serena, has a second movement which is based on a Little Wind March by Beethoven that Hindemith orchestrated, so that's not too tough. Remember, he did the same thing in the Symphonic Metamorphosis on themes by Weber. And then there's a colloquy, which is a dialogue between on-stage and off-stage solo strings. It's all for strings. And he breaks up the orchestra into little sections, and then the finale is just fun. But, what's not to love about this? You get to hear different colors and timbres and ensembles, and it's all just delightful. And then Harmonie der Welt, the harmony of the world, about Kepler and those people. Well, each movement has a title. There's Musica Instrumentalis, instrumental music, and Musica Humana, which is songful, human singing type stuff. And then Musica Mundana, music of the world music, the music of the spheres, it turns into, actually. It's a Passacaglia. And we know Passacaglias, right? It's a ground bass, with variations on top of it. And the bass repeats over and over and over and over again. And the variations get, in this case, crazier and crazier until they reach this enormous climax with chiming bells and a big crash on the tam-tam and the violins going their highest possible register. Oh, it's glorious. Absolutely glorious. So I love this. I just love this coupling, and I love this music, and it really deserves to be popular. I actually saw these performed, when I was in high school in the middle 70s. Hindemith spent a lot of time teaching at Yale after he fled from the Nazis, and Yale has always celebrated his tenure there. And they did a Hindemith concert with the Yale Philharmonic, or the Yale Symphony, whatever they were called at the time, under Otto Werner Müller was the conductor. I believe I went to high school with his son, Peter. And it was these two symphonies, and in the middle, his gorgeous, beautiful song cycle, Das Marienleben, the orchestral version, sung by Phyllis Curtin, the great American soprano. It was a wonderful concert. It really was. And it really impressed me, because usually concerts devoted only to one person, especially a contemporary composer, they can sort of not work too well. But there was more than enough contrast and variety to really make it a special, special occasion. And so listen to the special occasion here. Keep on listening, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.